Okay, hi everyone. Let's look at today's maths. Okay, so the date today is the 22nd of the 2nd, 2021. So if you are working on paper, please, like you would in school, if you can write a date and volt, nice and neatly at the top of your page. And if you are using paper in this lesson, you will need a pencil or something to write with, your exercise book or a piece of paper, and a rubber and ruler if you have one at hand. Of course, the other option is you can write on top of the worksheet if you prefer, and send it across on Dojo. Okay, whatever's best for you guys at home. Okay, so let's start with our starter. Okay, let's get our brains warmed up. So we're going to be multiplying by 10, 100 and 1000. So in the middle here it says, if I know that 7 times 6 equals 42, I also know that, and then we've got different sums from the same multiplication family. Okay, so if we know that 7 times 6 equals 42, we also know that 70 times 6 equals alright, so if we have a look, I'll do the first one with you, and then I'll give you some time to just check and have a go at that yourself. Okay, so remember, we times or multiplied the numbers together that we know, and then we add the zeros in at the end as placeholders. Okay, so all we're doing here is we're doing 7 times 6, which we know is 42. Let's see how I get on right on this. It's quite tricky, excuse my handwriting. And then what we do then is we just stick the 0 back on at the end. Okay, and the reason we do that is because you put your 0 in as a placeholder. 7 times 6 is 42, but the digits just move across to the next column along. Okay, so your 2 would end up as 2 tens. Okay, your 4 tens, your 40 ends up as 400, and so forth. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is just pause the video, have a go answering those questions. Okay, so pause the video now, and then we'll check in a minute and see how you did. Good luck, everyone. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how you did. Let's get my pen option back on the screen. Okay, hopefully you would have noticed as well that the top two questions are very similar. So if 70 times 6 equals 420, 7 times 6 is also the same answer. Okay, so we'd have 420 here as well. I hope it's easier for you guys to write on Portfolio than it is for me. The mouse isn't great on a laptop. Here, 7 times 6 again, we know it's 42, and we simply then add the 0 placeholders in. This time we're multiplying by 700, so we've got 2 zeros, so you pop your 2 zeros as placeholders in here. Okay, the answer would be exactly the same over here as well, so you'd have 4,200 here. I'm not going to write that one. And then at the bottom, again, it doesn't matter whether you multiply the 6 or the 7. So 7 times 6 is 42, plus your 3 zeros as placeholders. So you've got 40. Oh, apologies. My mouse has stuck. There we go. 42. Alright, plus your 2 zeros as placeholders. And you'd have the exact same answer here as well. Okay, so hopefully you did okay with that. Just recapping on previous learning, just to remind yourselves how to multiply by 10, 100 or 1000. Okay, so now our brains are warmed up. Let's move on to today's learning. So we're learning to solve correspondence problems. The word correspondence is not a word we often use. We used to refer to this as ratio years ago. Okay, so just working out probability and ratio. So let's have a look at Ron's question. Ron puts 3 different coloured cubes into a box. There we go. So we've got a yellow, red and a blue. He covers his eyes and picks out a cube. What could Ron have picked? So we're looking at the possible options here. So he could have picked a yellow, he could have picked a red cube, or of course he could have picked a blue. So at this stage, fairly straightforward. So there's 3 possibilities. Ron now has 2 boxes. So he's got his 3 cubes in one box, and he's got 2 different cubes in another box. He picks 1 cube out of each box. What combinations could Ron pick? So now we're looking at the possible combinations. So he could pick a yellow, from the first box. You could then pick the green from the second box. Okay, so you could have yellow and green. You could also pick the yellow from the first box and the black. So yellow and black is another option. You could pick the red and the green. You could also pick the red and the black. You could pick the blue from the first box and the green from the second. You can also have black and blue. So in total we have 6 possibilities. Alright, so that's how we work out the possibilities. Let's have a look again. So this time Ron adds a third cube into the second box. So use your mathematical knowledge to working out you've already did. Don't start again when you do this. So we know there's 6 possibilities already. Now we've added the orange. What combinations could Ron pick now? So we've got the 6 possibilities, but with the orange cube, what possibilities could he have? Okay, so have a think. Pause it here, have a think, jot it down, make a note. What could he have? Orange and how many other possibilities and which ones? Have a go. Pause the video now. Okay, let's see. Let's see if you're right. So we could have orange and yellow, orange and red, or orange and blue. So we could have 3 additional possibilities. Okay, bringing us to a total of 9 possibilities. There's 9 different possibilities. Okay, let's see what the tortoise has to say. There are the same number of cubes, so there will be 9 combinations. So this is what he's predicting. Okay, let's have a think. Is he correct? So he's saying that there are the same number of cubes, so there will be the same combinations. Think about that. We've now added the orange cube into the green tub. Let's see. Are we correct? So these are all the possibilities that we could find. Okay, so you've got your yellow and the 2 options at the top, then red and the 2 options from box 2, blue with the 2 options from box 2, orange with the 2 options from box 2. So actually, let's call him Teddy. Teddy the tortoise would be incorrect because it would actually be 8 possibilities. So this is us showing you the different possibilities physically, okay, but there is some maths to this. Let's have a look. Okay, so we know that we've got 6 possibilities from these 2 boxes here. We know that we've got 9 possibilities from these 2 boxes here, and then the most recent one we looked at, we know we've got 8 different possibilities. What do you notice? Have a think. What do you notice? Look at the number of possibilities. Look at the number of cubes. What are we doing to work out the answer? Have a think. Okay, let's see if you're right. So it says have a think. I told you slightly before, but let's see if you're right there. So there's 3 and there's 2. We multiply that together, we get 6. Okay, we've got 3 cubes here, and oh, sorry, went back. And then we've got 3 cubes in the next box. So if you multiply 3 by 3, or 3 squared, we get 9. And we got finally on the last question, you've got 4 cubes in one box, 2 in the other. So we multiply 4 by 2, and we get 8. So essentially, what you're doing to work out the possibilities is you're counting up, or you're counting how many in each box, and then you're multiplying the numbers together to get your answer. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video, have a go at answering questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet or in your writing books, whatever you choose to do. Okay, but have a go at answering questions 1 to 4. They're very similar to what we just did together. So pause the video here, complete those questions, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Okay, good luck everyone. Pause now. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how we did. Okay, so we're going to move on now. The next few example questions are going to be linked to the remaining questions on your worksheets. Okay, so we're still looking at solving correspondence problems. This time we're moving on from cubes to ice cream. A bit more interesting. So we've got ice cream here, and then possible sauce that you can have on top. So we've got vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, mint, blueberry, raspberry. So looking at this, have a think, what different possibilities could we have? Okay, so like we did earlier, so what I suggest you do is make a note. So don't write just vanilla and blueberries, it takes a long time to write that. You might just write V for vanilla plus B for blueberry, V for vanilla plus R for raspberry, okay, C for chocolate. So what I'd like to do is just write down the possible options, okay, so pause and have a think. Off you go. Okie dokie, right, welcome back. Let's see how we did. So we could have, so we've opted for VA and BL. So often when you're doing correspondence problems, to save time and to work logically, okay, you can use picture representations if you prefer to, if you've got colour pencils, or I just find it easier just to write the initials or a couple of letters for each word. So we've got vanilla and blueberry, vanilla raspberry, chocolate blueberry, chocolate raspberry, strawberry blueberry, strawberry raspberry. Okay, then we've got mint blueberry and mint raspberry. Okay, so in total we have got 8 possibilities. Hopefully you remember the trick and you looked over here and you thought, do you know what? Well, that's not a very good circle, Mr. Saunders. Do you know what? There's 4 ice cream flavours here. And there's 2 different sauces here. So if I multiply these 2 together, okay, I know that 4 times 2 would give us an answer of 8. Okay, this is obviously the long-winded version if you want to write them down, but if you could do it in your head and you remember this, even better, because you're working efficiently and saving yourself time. Okay, so this is just what I just showed you. Okay, so we know there's 8 possibilities. Okay, this time we're adding toppings as well. So now we've got flake, sprinkles. Alright, so you write down different possibilities. So if we look at the different possibilities, okay, of course we work through, again I start with vanilla and work your way through. Okay, so you could have vanilla, blueberry, flake, vanilla, blueberry, sprinkles. Okay, and so on. Let's have a look. So that's the 2 vanilla options that we said. We've also got vanilla, raspberry and flake as well. And vanilla, raspberry, sprinkles. So there's 4 options for each flavour. Okay. And then again, chocolate, blueberry, flake, chocolate, blueberry, sprinkles, and so on. Okay, so that's all the different combinations that you can find on the screen now. Let's have a look at the maths behind it. So I've just highlighted here, okay, different colour, because you've got 4 flavours. And then sauce, you've got 2 sauces. Okay, so 4 times 2. Then you multiply that by the total number of toppings, this time 2. Okay, so we're doing 4 times 2 times 2. Okay, or double 4 and double it again. Alright, so if we work that out, we know that double 4 is 8. If you double that, so you multiply that by 2, oh, you would get 16. The answer didn't come up then, but yeah, it would be 16. Alright, so again, to make it slightly harder, we can then add an extra topping on as well. Okay, so we could say wafer this time. Again, you've still got 4 flavoured ice creams. You multiply it by the sauce, and then you multiply it by your toppings, this time 3. Okay, and that will then give you the answer. Alright, so that is how you work it out. So just remember to add up the total in each group, and then multiply them by each other, and that will give you the total different possibilities. What I'd like to do now is have a go at the rest of the worksheet and send your work in. What I'm just going to mention as well is once you finish the worksheet, there's a challenge here. Let me just move my camera slightly so it's not in the way. I'll pop the camera up here. So you've got an A, B and a C. Alright, the challenge is is on the PowerPoint. I'll also put the challenge, I'll send it to you as well, so you've got the challenge if you want to have a go at it. But these are correspondence problems just linking to what you did today, so make sure you read the questions several times, alright, and then have a go at answering the questions. Just remember what we said about multiplying. We don't need to write loads down when we can just multiply the numbers in each group, okay, together to find different possibilities. It'd be fantastic if lots of you can have a go at the challenge. So they're differentiated, A, B and C, you know, and C being the trickier one. Pick the level which is convenient for you. You want it to be a challenge but not too easy. Alright, good luck everyone, and I really look forward to seeing your completed maths later. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.